How's it going, everyone, and welcome to the Black Metal Rebellion. It's time for another Unpopular Metal Opinions episode. This is episode 4, and this will be the Deathcore episode. Now, I know there's been a lot of people that have been wondering what my opinions on Deathcore is and what my stance on it is. I know a lot of you who are watching right now are just like dying in anticipation of what I'm going to say about it. Others, maybe you don't care so much. But before I get started on my definite opinion and my stance on Deathcore, I just want to say kind of a brief description of what Deathcore is to kind of kibosh this whole it's not metal issue. Alright, so Deathcore. It's a combination of death metal and metalcore, okay? Both are a subgenre of metal. So, to all you idiots out there who are like, Deathcore isn't metal, that's where you would be wrong. Deathcore is metal. Two kinds of metal put together. Death metal and metalcore. Sorry, it's fucking metal. You're just gonna have to live with that. Now, Deathcore has a few traits that it's very well known for. Blast beats being one of them, the down-tuned guitars, the use of tremolos, the mostly growled or somewhat guttural vocals, as well as very crushing and sometimes down-tempo breakdowns, which is derived from metalcore and hardcore, and might be a slight punk trait. I don't listen to much punk, so I don't know. So all in all, Deathcore is actually more metal than core, and thus has less roots in hardcore and punk than its less brutal counterpart being metalcore. So, dudes, just, it's metal, okay? Deathcore is metal, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you're elitist, you know, butthurt meter is going off the scale right now. It's fucking metal. Sorry. I know you might not like it, and you might not want to come to terms with this fact, but Deathcore is metal. I used to listen to Deathcore quite a bit back in the day. That being probably when it was first coming up on MySpace and different things like that. Some of the earlier bands I used to listen to were Chelsea Grin, like their self-titled EP, Job for a Cowboy's Doom, debut EP. I hear they're more death metal or whatever now than they are actually deathcore, but that's another topic entirely. I still think they're mostly just deathcore with the odd technical death metal influence as well. I mean, yes, death metal is in deathcore, but you know where I'm going with this. Next, another band that I really got into back in the day that was deathcore was I Ate Everybody. Good stuff. They had about 3 or 4 songs at the time. Crush the Gears, or Crushed in the Gears or something. Yeah, that was really good. Then there's We Are the End. I think they had anywhere from 4 to 6 songs. I don't know if they ever actually did like a full legit EP release or a full length, but that's another one. I also got into After the Burial thanks to my cousin Brett. He got me into their second album, Reform? Was that the name of it? Fuck. I can't remember if that's it or not. But yeah, After the Burial, I ended up eventually picking up an album by Acacia Strain called The Dead Walk. I don't have it anymore, I sold it. I got into Despised Icon. I had their Day of Mourning album. It was alright, but I sold it too, to someone who enjoys deathcore a little more than what I did. I still have some Whitechapel albums. I have a Carnifex album, but I listened to them a lot back in the day. And same with Suicide Silence. So, I guess the other unpopular metal opinion here is that I'm a black metal guy, and I still enjoy deathcore on the odd occasion. It's not like my everyday listening endeavors, but when I get into a certain mood, I like to listen to some breakdowns and some heavy chugs and some, you know, teen angsty type of deathcore stuff. So yeah, deathcore doesn't bother me. I enjoy it. I still have some deathcore albums myself. Call me a poser if you like. I really don't care. I mean, I would like people to stop using the word poser just thrown around and used ridiculously, but if that's what you want to call me for saying that I actually enjoy deathcore, so be it. I don't care. You can fuck off. It does not bother me. And the other unpopular opinion is that deathcore is metal, so just stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Whether you like that fact or not, doesn't matter. That's what it is. It's two different kinds of metal mixed into one, so that means it's metal. Some other bands that I got into deathcore-wise later on in my years were Belay My Last, Boris the Blade, Mess in the Morgue. Mess in the Morgue, I don't know if they came up with anything else besides Miley Cyrus is a filthy whore or dirty whore or whatever the song was, but they were pretty decent back in the day from what I remember. So definitely check out Mess in the Morgue. Make Them Suffer was okay. Their Never Bloom or Ever Bloom or something like that is interesting. There's more melodic parts to it. There's some synthesizer keyboards. There's some keyboards in it. I Declare War was pretty decent. I Declare War. Were they the ones that did and the Joker had sex with your mom? That one line in that one song? Or is that someone else? No, I think that was Motionless in White. I'm an idiot. My apologies. Chainsaw Disaster is definitely another one you should check out. They're not as well known, but they're a pretty decent deathcore band. I'm pretty sure they're deathcore. It's been a while since I've listened to them, but check them out. Thy Art is Murder. That's an obvious one. Personally, their Infinite Death and The Adversary was the best thing they released. Anything after that, just kind of like their newest album, in my opinion, was just awful. It was like they took all the worst things they did with the Hate album and just cranked that up to 11. You're like, oh my god, so much recycled, rehashed garbage. Sorry. Not buying it. Literally, I am not buying that. What else is good? Molotov Solution. If you have not heard Molotov Solution, go listen to that band. They are fantastic. And once again, this is suggestions for people who are into deathcore. If you're not into deathcore, you might as well just shut this video off right now. Next, Impending Doom. Good deathcore. Apparently they're Christian. Whatever. I don't give a shit what their beliefs are. The music is more important. Born of Osiris. Fucking bow down. Love that song. Their first album is pretty sick. Salt and Wound. I'm gonna have to listen to them again, but I definitely got into them later on. Once I got into deathcore, back in like 2008, 9, and 10. But they're decent. And Hell Followed With. They kind of remind me of early Chelsea Grin, but more intense and crazy. Through the Eyes of the Dead. Through the Eyes of the Dead were very interesting. I'm not sure if you consider them metalcore or deathcore. I'm just going to consider them deathcore for the moment. I'm not huge into deathcore these days, but I'm pretty sure they're deathcore. Check them out. All Shall Perish. I'm still considering getting their Malice Hate Revenge or Hate Malice Revenge or whatever the fuck their first album was called. I really liked the riffs that were in that. It's very groovy. I'm not sure if you want to consider them metalcore or deathcore or somewhere in between, but for this video, I'm just considering them deathcore. So if they're not, whatever. You can excuse me. and As Blood Runs Black. Uh, As Blood Runs Black was pretty good back in the day. Their newer stuff, I don't know. I would have to be like the older, or well, younger me technically. I have to be the younger me to probably appreciate the new stuff that they're doing. As it stands right now, it just seems like your average deathcore and doesn't really seem like it's too special. And then I later on got into Catalepsy with a C, so they're alright. I like the album before the one I have, Bleed, but that's what it is. So, there we have it. I've named a few bands to check out if you're into deathcore. I've stated the fact that deathcore is metal, and the fact that I'm mostly a black metal guy now, and I still, on occasion, enjoy deathcore. There's nothing wrong with deathcore. There's still some good bands in the genre. You just have to sift through a bunch of the crap to find some decent stuff. Every genre has good bands and shit bands. Talented and not talented, depending on your opinion. So you just gotta wade through the garbage and find some good stuff, okay? If you don't like certain types of deathcore, maybe you haven't searched long enough. Maybe you haven't stumbled across a decent band enough. Or yet. Brain on. But yes, definitely check out the bands that I've listed here. I listed some, bigger names in deathcore. I listed some medium known names in deathcore, and I've listed some pretty obscure shit, I think. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I'm still a plebeian noob to deathcore, and I think what I'm saying is obscure, or the bands that I'm mentioning is obscure, and they're not really. So, excuse me if they're not. Okay? But definitely check them out. Check out the bands I've mentioned. If you've heard one or two that I've mentioned, then obviously don't worry about those, worry about the other ones. Now, before I end this video, a buddy of mine, Jared Brevik, on on Facebook, is having a bit of an issue. And I figured I'd bring it up to you guys before I end this video. There's a band called A Different Breed of Killer. They made some music, they broke up, they're back together now, they have a page. Apparently they're releasing a new single soon. I don't really follow them. I don't really care. It's not really my thing. But my friend Jared also wants to name his project, his musical project, A Different Breed of Killer. And he's wondering if he can be sued for naming his band that. I don't know if the current A Different Breed of Killer band has copyrighted their band name yet. Sorry to tell you, boys, if you haven't copyrighted your band name yet, he can totally call his band that. But if you have, I'm wondering, because they're from Tennessee, from what I hear, and he lives in Pennsylvania. I'm wondering, can he just call his band A Different Breed of Killer, brackets PA, which I believe is the acronym for Pennsylvania? Will he be sued? Can they sue him? Like, he's a fucking 16-year-old. Like, can you sue a 16-year-old? What is your suggestions to my buddy Jared? Should he just say fuck it and just name his band A Different Breed of Killer anyways, since he's in a different state? Does that matter? Is there a copyright thing there? Just assuming, let's say, A Different Breed of Killer has copyrighted their name, is he in the air for potential legal ramifications? If not, why? If he is, let me know why. And does the different state matter? Can he be called A Different Breed of Killer, Pennsylvania, PA? Or will that still make a difference? Because we're trying to figure it out. I'm not sure of the laws in the states when it comes to band names and stuff like that. And it's a good discussion piece, and it's related to deathcore, and I want to help the kid out. So let me know. Should he make a page and continue on making his music under the name A Different Breed of Killer? Will it matter if he puts PA in brackets and just kind of mentions, yeah, I'm not the Tennessee Different Breed of Killer, I'm the Pennsylvania Different Breed of Killer? Or should he just use an acronym, ADBOK? Will that be alright? Will that be okay? Some feedback would be good. Let me know. Try to help the dude out. Stay sick. And if anyone gives you shit, tell them to fuck off. Just because. You don't need that negativity in your life, bro. So yeah, cheers and see you next time. Also, before I go, I am going to be doing a video, not right after this, but it'll be the next video that I have on my channel. I'm going to be going through my deathcore fucking long metal hair. God, it's all in my mouth and shit. I'm going to be doing a video presenting all of my deathcore albums, and hope you enjoy that. After that, it'll be back to a regular scheduled program. Probably do some more horror movie stuff, some more black metal shit. I've recently ordered 2 kind of rare black metal CDs that probably will be here mid-July, so hopefully I'll be able to show those to you. Hopefully doing a 2 CD update won't be too, boring for you, but that's what it is. Stay sick, my friends.